Danny Doff, behind the business. What episode are we up to, Sammy? 4? 5? 4 or 5, one of the two.
Yeah.
Me and Danny have known each other for probably, 4 months, Danny?
That long?
Give or take, yeah. Feels a lot longer. And the way me and Danny actually found each other was on social media. I've got a different style to Danny. I'm coming up in the industry and I'm trying to leverage social media as much as I can. Danny, I thought, was just getting started in social media from what I've seen. But I've since learned, Danny, you're actually probably a veteran in social media or in media itself.
Yeah.
You've been in real estate for 20 years?
Yep.
You're one of the licensees at Lang & Simmons Double Bay, probably one of the biggest agencies in the eastern suburbs. And we learnt last week that you've been doing this media and vlogs and videoing for the last 15 years.
Well, there's been a bit of a gap between when I first started and when I started last year. Well, I did a video about 15 years ago, and you've seen it.
Yeah.
And back then we had to put it on a CD, and then I had to distribute it.
Yeah.
And then hope someone would look at it. And it was very expensive, and it was probably a bit too long, but I didn't know what to do, so I just thought I'd put it out there, and basically nothing happened with it.
Mate, I was really, really inspired, and I thought it was really cool to think that myself and us young demographic are the ones inventing this stuff and bringing it up with vlogs and videos and podcasts and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then to see someone who's been in the game for 20 years, who's essentially you're an early adopter of this. 15 years ago, I could understand the video camera probably would have been the size of a car on your shoulder. And like you said, distribution wasn't just a matter of putting it on Facebook with a click of a button. Like you had to go through the whole process of...
I had boxes of it, thousands of them. Boxes everywhere, all over my office.
Run me through it. Why back then did you think, what's a great idea? Let's film my day and put it out there for people to see. Like, I think that's pretty unique.
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I just wanted to be a little bit different to what people were doing, and so I tried. But because of the distribution, getting the videos out, the CDs out, it was just too difficult.
Right.
And these days now with social media, and everyone's got their social media on their phones. Distribution is easy and it's a lot cheaper.
Right. So back then you did the video, was it, do you think it was just the fact that, you obviously had to put it on a CD, then give it to someone and then hope that person put it in their CD player and play it? Was that the issue, do you think?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it's a lot more, it's a lot easier to see these sort of things now in this day and age compared to back then. So, I thought I'd give it another crack.
Right.
And I started last May.
So were you disheartened by that, do you think? Or was it just like a part of it you thought, whatever?
It's too hard, it's too difficult.
Right.
And then I think after, I think it came down to 2018, my figures started to drop.
Right.
Actually, 17, 18, my figures started to drop, and I had to do something different to try and generate more sales and more listings. And I went and saw the Josh Vegans of the day, and he told you have to do your 30 phone calls, you have to do your prospecting, you have to specialise in the area, and so I did that. But and I was getting opportunities, but I was losing the listing.
Right.
And then I started.
You're losing the listings to young people who were leveraging social media, do you think?
Potentially.
Yeah.
And all the other agents out there in Double Bay. I mean, we're a very competitive market.
Probably the most competitive.
So then I started 2018, late 2008. I started seeing Charles Bainey as another business coach, and he said, "Dan, you got the brand, you got the name, you got the experience, you know the market like the back of your hand." He sort of basically said, "Well, you don't you're not backing yourself, you're not confident enough, and we need to work on that." So then I started doing at 2019. Started doing the social media. I started. Interviewing people in the community, and people thought, well, that was a bit different, and I started building up my confidence a little bit more, and then I started looking at what other agents are doing on social media and their property videos, and I found everyone was the same. So I thought, let's give it a crack, let's just try something a little different. And I've got my confidence back, and I back myself big time now, so it doesn't matter who I'm up against in the East. I used to be so scared, thinking, who am I up against? But now my confidence is back, and it's probably because of what I've been doing in the last year.
I think it is. And the thing the thing is, like you said, everyone's doing social media. Like the majority of the people do social media, especially in real estate.
Yeah.
But everyone's stuff is the same.
Yeah.
Everyone sees
Yeah.
the same property videos. It's look
Yeah.
at me. I'm on my pinstripe suit. And I'm
sold
looking
this for
a
400,000 over
Yeah,
reserve.
exactly.
But did we tell about the ones that they sold for 200 less than the vendors' expectations in a terrible market? So you know they're just blowing their horn, and I don't like that.
Exactly, and I think that's what sets you apart from the rest and gives you that point of difference. Is a lot of your stuff is not even about real estate.
Yeah,
a lot
true.
of your stuff is you grew up in the eastern suburbs, you know a lot of people,
Yeah.
and it's telling everyone else's story through your social media, which I think is really probably really inspiring to a lot of people and probably really interesting. What made you go down that path? It was very easy to go and get the normal videographer like everyone else does and walk through a property like, you know, like a big macho, man. What gave you the idea to go, you know what, I'm going to make it more about the community I'm working in, not about Danny Doff and what I'm doing?
I did a few courses. You know, 49 years old, 48 years at the time, did a few courses, and they sort of said this
Back
is what
to
the
school
way.
at 48.
Well, social media school. So I took in a few things, and when you go to these courses, if you can sort of learn a few things, you don't have to take in all, and you can. And the main thing is to adopt something. So they said do some community videos. I started watching a lot of agents that were doing in Queensland and all over Australia.
Yeah.
And I thought I could do this. So then I remember the first one was Rocco's Cafe up in Vaucluse, and I was so nervous, and I didn't know, and I was like, I'm going to pull out, I'm not going to do it. And I went, stuff it, I'm going to do it. And it worked out really good, you know.
I think it was.
Yeah.
I think the one that grabbed majority of the people in the eastern suburbs' attention was the old fella you were selling his apartment.
Yeah.
And you literally told the story of when you went into the apartment getting the stuff cleaned out, then bringing buyers through and selling it, and you even got his hair cut. Like that was probably the one of most.
Well, also there was it was Brian down in Rose Bay, and I was doing a piece on him as well. So. And I thought, put two and two together, and I'll get good old Cole and get a haircut and interview Brian as well. So
and that literally went like viral in the eastern suburbs. I think a lot of people like were talking about it and were saying, "Look at this, look at this."
He got spotted. He was like a celebrity.
He was giving them away. And we're actually just talking before this that you just did another very, very unique. It was actually a property video, but instead of walking through the property, you were playing tennis on the tennis court and talking about what the property brings to your lifestyle. And you actually just said that you had a buyer from social media that come through that property. So it's obviously working.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had 3. I'm not saying that they're going to buy it, but they actually saw it on Facebook and they came and had a look at it. So. I think with the property videos, everyone's doing the same thing. So you have to do it a little bit different. You have to illustrate what's fun about the place and what things that they have. And so, you know, if it's tennis court, why not get on the tennis court and hit a couple of balls? Or if there's a swimming pool, go for a swim.
I think so.
And I threw my kids around. The kids were in it, and then it was pet friendly. So we got pet rabbits. So straight away, people know it's pet friendly. They see, you know, a pet walking through the building, and that's an important thing for the sort of demographic they're looking to buy into that block.
Because essentially, that's why people are buying property at the end of the day. They're buying it for the emotional reasons, not because it's got beautiful marble floors and a nice bench top. They're buying it for what the property has to offer in terms of their lifestyle, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mate, let's talk about the next 12 months. You've obviously had a big 12 months in terms of a confidence gain. You switched up. You were doing the iPhone videos. Now you've got a professional doing it for you.
Well, yours.
How do you think it's going to change over the next 12? Are you going to keep pushing this social media?
I'm having fun with it.
Brand?
I'm really having fun with it. And I think over time you just reinvent yourself. And as long as I keep on getting properties that are interesting and are good lifestyle properties, then, you know, just thinking up new ideas. Whenever I've got something coming, I've got a new development site coming up, I'm thinking, what can I do with this one? You know? So
Maybe get a machine there, mate, and get on the
track. No, I've got all the outfit. I've got the high vis outfit and the hat and all that sort of stuff and the sledgehammer. So it's just the next 12 months. Just keep doing what I'm doing, mate. And you know, and now with the listings coming in and feeling more confident and enjoying what I'm doing.
Showing in your work, mate. Well, look, I think it's super inspiring. I think a lot of the older demographic, like 50 years old almost, mate, a lot of people would not jump into it at 50. They say, no, that's well and truly gone. But I love the fact that you've gone, fuck it, grabbed it by the balls, and now you're taking it.
Cheers.
So, mate, inspiring. Good shit.
Cool.
Good on you, Daddy.